Well, this news about Arsenal is very interesting. I've been under the impression that Arsenal won't be looking at players to bring into the club this January, and that impression's only come from my logical thinking that we spent so much money in the summer transfer window, and it seems we have a squad where we have two very good players for each position. So my assumption and thinking is, why would Arsenal need to strengthen? And then I see this tweet behind me on Twitter saying that Arsenal will be actively looking to strengthen the squad in January. And it's actually per Mikel Arteta's words. Depending on the availability of certain players, the window is there. I mean, we are Arsenal and we have to be looking at it. So if Arsenal are going to be buying a new player in the up and coming transfer window, it is going to be based on the availability of the players we currently have. My next thought is going to be about PSR and where do Arsenal fit at the moment with complying with PSR. After all the spending the past few years, do we have headroom? Because from Arteta's words, it sounds like there is actually headroom and that we do have an opportunity if we need to buy a new player. And then the third question that comes to my mind is, who do we buy and what position? Because if Arsenal do buy new players, it has to be to strengthen the squad. It can't be to provide backup or depth, because we already have that. So what positions on the pitch do Arsenal lack at the moment? Because I'm finding it very difficult to pinpoint what positions and players Arsenal would be interested in to strengthen the squad. My initial and first thought would be left wing. Bringing somebody elite and world-class in that left-wing position over Trossard and Martinelli. But I would then also think it's slightly unfair for Trossard because he's actually been one of Arsenal's best players this season. I also think it'd be a little bit unfair to go and buy another striker to replace Gyökeres when he's only had a few months to bed himself in and get going. Sometimes it takes longer for players to get going than others. And I think based on the past few months, you can't really judge buying a new player to replace the currently new bought striker. Does that make sense? Our goalkeeper is set. Our defensive four is set. Our midfield three is set. And our front three, without going out and spending huge amounts of money, would you find anyone good enough to replace any of those front three? And of course, you're not replacing Saka. So this is very, very interesting. And definitely one to keep an eye on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new to this channel, hit that follow button.